Well, I figured it was time to try something a little bit different. I figure I'll do a little bit of a show and tell of all of my live DVDs that I have, of all the concerts and all that, because during this lockdown, I haven't been able to go to a concert in probably the longest stretch ever. So I've been diving deep of trying to satisfy that crave of a live venue show and doing some deep dives into all my old CD, DVD combo packs and exclusive DVD features and whatnot. So I don't have any real rhyme or reason of the order that I want to be doing this in. There's no like worst to best on this one. There's no chronology. Some of these are scatters of like bands across the area. So I'm going to try to keep it as consistent as possible, at least in my mind, a little bit. And I think I'm going to start at the beginning of all this, of the first ever live concert that I bought. This was actually back in high school. This would have been grade 11 or 12. And that is Peter Gabriel's Growing Up. This one still is one of my all-time favorite live albums, and honestly, with Peter Gabriel, you really do need to experience his songs live, because if you're only listening to the studio recording, sometimes you're getting half the track. I realized that if I keep talking like this of all the DVDs, we're going to be here forever, so I'm going to keep it pretty brief. Outside of the fact that this was my first one, and I watched this like at least 10 times within the first year that I got it, because I was unfortunately unable to go to the concert just due to family reasons. So anyway, Peter Gabriel's Up, or Growing Up rather. And then from there, I have as much as I can from Peter Gabriel. I have the Peter Gabriel Live in Athens, 1987, a great year for that. This is, I think, right after So. So there's a few things of So in here, like Mercy Street, Don't Give Up, Sledgehammer, and In Your Eyes kind of concludes it with Biko. So yeah. And then I have the album that I guess a lot of us love, is the Peter Gabriel's The Secret World. So this is the live version of the Secret World album that he has when he's just a goatee. Then I have the New Blood live in London, the orchestra that he did. I actually got to see this in theaters because they released it as a 3D concert, which was kind of fun. So yeah, that was him in the orchestra, the New Blood. And then the actual concert that I was able to see that I still really, really love is the Back to Front. This one actually has the CDs as well with it. It's got a really nice little presentation. Like, that's something that I know Peter Gabriel never skips out on, is the presentation. And I love the presentation of this. And like I said, this was one of the few that I actually got to see. So it was really interesting to see the difference between the live show versus the packaged show. And if that's what I've been missing, like the jump between the live venue and the final product, I wish I could have seen half of these, because you really have to experience it live. So anyway, Back to Front. Then I've got some Genesis stuff, and the only one that I have is When in Rome, the 2007 one. Again, I got to see this in concert in Toronto. Great stuff. I used to have their live performance, and I don't know where it is. I'm afraid I may have donated it somewhere. But I have their 1980 live show as well, the one where they just put out Duke. So a lot of it is from there, and then there were 3 performances, and I love it. But you can also find it online, so I wouldn't be surprised if I donated it. I wish I knew it and I could find it. But anyway, there's the When in Rome. Really, really great stuff. And then I've got 2 Steve Hackett's, both Genesis revisited, live at the Royal Albert Hall and live at the Hammersmith. I think I like the Hammersmith a little bit more. I love the compositions of that. It's a little bit of a longer show as well. So those are the 2 that I've got for Steve Hackett. He puts out like one of these every other year or so. I think he's up to like 4 of these Genesis revisited ones. There's one with a full orchestra that I've heard, and there's one that has a lot more of his solo stuff on it. But yeah, I still think the live at the Hammersmith is probably the best one out of the bunch. So let's go to the Pink Floyd stuff. So I only really have Roger Waters and David Gilmour stuff. So I have the David Gilmour live at Royal Albert Hall. I actually found this at a library thrift store sale for like $1.50, so I had to pick it up. I love the tour that this was on. I love the On the Island tour. So this was the kind of take on that. Really, really good stuff. I think this one has echoes on it. Yeah, it has echoes. So there we go. Then we have 2 Roger Waters. I have In the Flesh live. I got this as a birthday or Christmas present from my dad because we got to see him when he was doing his Dark Side of the Moon tour. Moon tour. And that still goes down in history as one of my favorite concerts. So this was the one that I think he did just before that. Really great stuff. A lot of Pink Floyd stuff on here. And a few of his solo stuff. So there you go, In the Flesh. And then, of course, I had to pick up Roger Waters' The Wall, the concert experience. I really, really enjoy this one. I love how it's superimposed with actual clips of him and other individuals. I think it's a little bit more unified in theme than most of his other Wall stuff. So I love the fact that it's essentially advertising the Blu-ray, because this is the DVD, saying get the most out of your HD TV, assuming that I'm rich enough to afford an HD TV. But no, I really, really enjoy this. And I think that he really brought home the whole anti-war message from The Wall in this package that I think was lost in translation in the finalized Wall product. So anyway, Roger Waters' The Wall. Let's see, where am I going to go from here? Let's go to some classic stuff. All right, here we go. So I've got the Van de Graaff generator, the live God Bluff, live in 1975. This was the show that they did in Paris in, let's see here, that would be September 27th, 1975. And it has all of God Bluff album on here, The Undercover Man, Arrow, Scorched Earth, and Sleepwalkers. Then it goes into Theme 1 and Plague of the Lighthouse Keepers. So that was part of the reason why I picked up this up, because of the Plague of the Lighthouse Keeper. Still one of my favorite Van de Graaff tunes. So yeah, digitally remastered for 5.1 surround sound. Then, of course, no progressive rock collection would be complete without recitals of the script from Marillion. This was the big live show that they did. So this has everything from their first album and their first EP. So scripts from A Jester's Tear, Garden Party, The Web, Chelsea Monday, He Knows, Forgotten Sons. Then it goes into Market Square Heroes and Grendel. Love that Grendel. There you go. This was a lot of fun. Staying on the Marillion train, I have their live album from their Somewhere Else tour, which is strange. I mean, that's not necessarily my favorite Marillion album, but it has a number of different stages on here. I think there's 3 stages. So you have the Somewhere Else tour. Here's some we played elsewhere or earlier. And then the one that I got was actually The Last Century for Man, which is the Rocket Club rehearsal, which is just kind of like them jamming out in a tent. Because it has some really, really good stuff on there. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. I maybe listened to it once or twice, so yeah. Then let's go to IQ. So we have IQ Stage. This was a lot of fun. This was their album that they put out as they were promoting their Dark Matter album. One of my favorites, if not my favorite, the first album from them. And I really, really love this one. It's got 2 stages. So you have stage 1 and stage 2. You've got one in the USA, and then one in Germany. And yeah, it's got some really good stuff on it. Yeah, a lot of fun. And then I had the special edition of Frequency, which actually came with a DVD concert of the Live in Holland, which is honestly my favorite live recording of any IQ set because of how brilliant all the tracks are. It starts off with Awake and Nervous, You Never Will. Then it goes into As They Were Working with Frequency, as well as Crashed and Burned, which turned out to be stronger than Friction. But the Harvest of Souls and the Magic Roundabout, all brilliant stuff. And then you have the encores of Subterrana and The Darkest Hour. So yeah, love this. And that's why I kind of keep it with all my live stuff, because it does have a DVD that actually turns out to be one of my favorite live shows from them. So there you go. And then kind of keeping in the neo-prog vein a little bit is Gazpacho's The Night at Demon. I really love this set of theirs. I think I have 3 of their live albums, including this one. I think I have Live Over London and the TikTok one. There was one that they released right after. No. There was one that they released right after TikTok, and then one that they released right after Mass Atropos. So yeah, this one is probably my favorite of theirs. It starts off with TikTok's part 1 and 2. It has I've Been Walking parts 1 and 2. The only thing that I wish is that they included the entire run of Demon, but you know, I'm not gonna sneeze at that. And they end with Upside Down and Massive Illusion. So I think it has some of their best work on this. All right, where are we gonna go from here? Yeah, let's do some prog. Let's do some deep prog stuff. Okay. So these are all. Let's just go to Haken's live or L-Ive. So yeah, this is another CD DVD combo pack. A lot of these are CD DVDs combo packs, so I don't really need to talk too much about this one. I also have the Live Plus one in record form behind me, which I believe is on the DVD too. So yeah, there you go, live. Good stuff, good stuff. Then let's go to some, you know what, let's go to Neil Morse. I have their Testament 2 album. I had their Momentum album, but I lent it to a friend and never got it back, unfortunately. Sad times. But yeah, his Testimony 2 live album has some really good stuff. It's very heartfelt, if you know what I mean. Like it feels very moved if you're a religious individual. Like you can definitely feel the religious energy in there, because that's all that Neil was doing during this. So yeah, good stuff on that. And then speaking of Neil Morse, let's go into Transatlantic. So I've got the Whirlwind Tour, which comes into a really nice box set, and I love how they split up the DVDs and the DVDs and the CDs into like these little booklets. So you have the 1 and you have the 2 on there. And each one comes with their own little booklets, because I think that it's 2 different shows. And actually, this still holds my favorite lineup of Transatlantic, because Daniel Gilden Lowe from Pain and Salvation is playing with them on this one. So, which I think he might have done the same thing on here. I have another one of his that I'm going to be, or another one of theirs that I'm going to be showing soon. Anyway, yeah, the Transatlantic. Let's try to get this back in its box. The Whirlwind Tour. And then, of course, because I'm a glutton for punishment in this sense, I also have their More Is Never Enough, which is essentially the exact same tour, just done again. So Daniel Gilden Lowe is still on this one, so it's my favorite lineup, so of course I had to get it. And it's just a few more of their stopovers. So you have Live in Manchester, and then the DVD is Live in Tilburg. So those are the 2. And then, of course, I have the Live Discope. Wasn't a big fan of this one, but I had to pick it up anyway. You know, you've got the medley, which was really fun. The All of the Above and Stranger in Your Soul. I kind of like what they did with the Whirlwind medley. Like they shrunk it down into a half-hour suite as opposed to keeping it into the 80-minute suite. So yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Not my favorite, because I wasn't a big fan of Kaleidoscope, but hopefully they're coming out with a new one soon. So. And I think they had Ted Leonard coming in from Spock's Beard to help fill this out. Spock's Beard, and I want to say Pattern Seeking Animals as well. So anyway, this was all right. All right, let's see. Where am I going to go from here? Let's keep on that same vein of some deep prog. Let's go into my Porcupine Tree stuff. So I've got the Arriving Somewhere, the one that they put out after Deadwing. I've got my favorite one, the Anesthesize. The one that they put out after Fear of a Bleak Planet. Then I have the movie Insurgents, which is just balls to the wall insane, which is less of a concert and more of just a, musical road movie that follows the making of the Grammy nominated musician Stephen Wilson's solo record of the same name. So it's weird, but in a good way. His Get All You Deserve, which probably might be my favorite of his. And then the latest one of the Live at Royal Albert Hall, because if you're prog, you want to at least tour that once in your career. So it was good. Not my favorite. My favorite still is Get All You Deserve, even though there's only a few. I think this was right after they did Grace for Drowning. And you can actually hear Luminal in its infancy on here. So that was kind of a shame, because my favorite album from him is still The Raven That Refused to Sing and Other Stories. And you only get one track in the making of on this one, and then one track on here, which is the closing piece. So yeah, I thought that was kind of meh, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Anyway, that's my Steven Wilson Porcupine Tree set. Then let's go to Dream Theater. I don't have as many as I thought I did, but we still have my favorite one, the Chaos in Motion, the one that they put out after Systematic Chaos, and it's performances all over the world. It's got shows from Buenos Aires, Toronto, yay, Boston, Bangkok, Vancouver, Rotterdam, bonus material, great stuff. And I think it has all the promo videos from the studio sessions from the Systematic Chaos. So, and oh man, the actual tracks on here, like my favorite song is still The Ministry of Lost Souls, and the Schmedley Wilcox on here is just ugh, and they perform the entire Presence of Enemies, so really good stuff on there. Then I also got the Breaking the Fourth Wall. I think this was the one that they did after their which one was this one? I think this was the self-titled Dream Theater album that they were touring at the time for this one. So it's good, it's all right. So yeah, there's the Breaking the Fourth Wall. And then I have the Live at Lunar Park, the one that they were touring for A Dramatic Turn of Events. And this is the whole like CD, DVD, big combo pack, right? So it like folds out and just continues to fold out and then continues to fold out because it's got the CDs and DVDs. It's a pretty big beast. So anyway, Live at Lunar Park and Breaking the Fourth Wall. Those are my Dream Theater stuff. I was thinking about getting Live at Budokan because I think I saw it somewhere where I could pick it up. But anyway. All right, let's get into some of my more metal-y stuff. First up, let's talk about Leprous. Beautiful live performance from Leprous. This is there at Rockefeller Music Hall. I got to actually see this concert when they came to Toronto and they played at a dingy bar. Earthside opened up for them. It was fantastic. And I still think that this is probably one of their best performances at the highlight of their career. From there, we have Between the Buried and Me, and I've got two of theirs. This is their Colors Live album, so it came with the audio CD, which is just the live stuff. And then the White Walls, the whole audio from that on DVD, plus some of their encore stuff. So, yeah, love that one. And I also have their Between the Buried and Me, the Future Sequence Part 2, Between the Buried and Me, Future Sequence live at Fiddlestrom. This was actually a really interesting concept because they actually played the whole album live in studio and then just recorded it. And so I have the recording of that. I think they did the same thing with the Coma Eclectic, but I didn't have any real reason to pick that one up. It wasn't my favorite, whereas I love the Future Sequence. So, ta-da! There you go. There's my Between the Buried and Me stuff. Let's go to Opeth. With Opeth, I have Laminations. Laminations. Yeah, I always want to say it's Laminations. Anyway, this was the 1-2 punch of the Damnation and Deliverance. This is actually how I got my dad and my stepmom into Opeth. I played the first set where it's all the Damnation stuff, and then it goes into Deliverance stuff. They're like, okay, I think we're good. I think we're done. So yeah, really fun stuff. Love this piece, even though not a lot of people like this one, which I think is really interesting. I particularly love it. I really do. Then I also have the Roundhouse tapes, but I don't know where that is. Oh no, it's over there. But it's just the CD, so I didn't include it because it's just the CD, and I only wanted to talk about those that had live performances in DVD. One that I have both the CD and DVD is the Opeth, the Royal Disharmonic Orchestra, conducted by the Powers That Be. I mean, essentially, this was the Deep Purple whole sequence that they had on this one. I'll just move this over here. This was the 20th anniversary, I believe it was, of the band, where Observation 1 is just the Blackwater Park performed in entirety. And then Observation 2, they went chronologically through their albums and played one song from each of their albums, which took up the second part of the set, starting with their first album and ending with Watershed. Because after this, they went on. After this, they went on to do Folklore, and then there's the camel kind of homage. So they did one, and they actually, call out that they were going to do this in the actual concert themselves. They're like, yeah, we're going to take some photos like Deep Purple, and then some, the CD keeps falling out, and then take some pictures like Camel. So maybe I have it backwards. Maybe that's why this thing keeps falling out. No, that's supposed to be like that. I guess it's just destined to fall out, I suppose. There we go. Anyway, Opeth, Evolution XX, the Opeth anthology. And then I have their latest one, the Live at Red Rocks. This is the Opeth Live at Red Rocks Amphitheater, Garden of Dreams, or what? I can't read that. Anyway, this was the one that they released with Sorceress. I wish that they had put out the concert that they released with the orchestra that they had done with Pale Communion, because the bonus stuff from Sorceress that includes the Pale Communion live stuff is just brilliant. But anyway, there's the Live at Red Rocks that they got to do, and it's good. It's a good show. It's a good show. Ta-da! And then let's talk about my my Devin Townsend. So I have my favorite of the Retinal Circus. Still easily my favorite live performance that he's done. It's the limited edition. I have the live CD, and then I had to actually pick this up because it was just brilliant. Yeah, I think it catalogs his career up to that point very, very well. So got that one. Then I have, which one came first? I think this one came first. Live at the Royal Albert Hall, because of course, as I mentioned, no prog outfit would be complete without at least touring the Royal Albert Hall. So this is Ziltoid at the Royal Albert Hall, CD, DVD combo. So the first set, I believe he plays all of Z2, or at least the Ziltoid part of Z2. And then the second one is By Demand. So I've got, let's see here, I think that is the CD, or is that the DVD? Yeah, so there you go. There's the first one, the Return of Ziltoid, and then you have kind of the By Demand. It actually looks like it's supposed to be looked at with 3D glasses. And this is, there we go. CD1, CD2, CD3. So there's the CD, and then the DVD. Yeah, it's good. Not necessarily my favorite, because my favorite's still the Retinal Circus, but this one still has some great stuff, especially when he comes back and plays the By Demand stuff. Although I will admit, like, it shows the guys' two mindsets, right? The one is like overly produced, overly packaged, giant spectacle, and then the other one is like very subdued, very small, just him and the guys playing some music. So I love the fact that it kind of showcases his two brains in that sense. So yeah, who's the master and who's the puppet? Royal Albert Hall. That was a good time. And then I have the Ocean Machine, the Devin Townsend project. This one is live at the Ancient Roman Theater. I'm a little disappointed about the mix, because I know a lot of people had said that the mix of this was not very good because the drums are just overpowering on everything. But this is the one where he plays the entire Ocean Machine, and I got this because it goes from it has Canada and Deep Peace, two of my favorite tracks from him. It ends with Deep Peace. So and then CD2 is just all of Ocean Machine. So so I believe the first one is By Request and the second one is Ocean Machine. So okay, so those are all my proggy stuff. Oh boy. Finally, to round all this up, this is all the miscellaneous stuff. This is the stuff that doesn't really fit in my usual MO of material. So the first one is the Mirror Noir Neon Bible Archives from Arcade Fire. And it's less of a concert and more of just like archival footage. It's kind of like Steven Wilson's Insurgents DVD thing. It's still really fun, and I'll put it on every once in a while. I do get annoyed because they'll start doing a song and then cut away from it. And I'm like, wow, just play the whole song, guys. But anyway, Insurgents, Mirror Noir, their Neon Bible kind of stuff. Yeah, Neon Bible. Then I didn't know if these two counted, but I'm going to include them here anyway. It's the Beatles. I've got the Hard Day's Night and Beatles Help. Next up that I need to collect is the Yellow Submarine. I just haven't really honestly gotten around to it. So I don't know if they really count, but I'm including them here. So this is my show and I say that it counts. Next up, I've got Muse's Harp. Love this one. This one's my favorite Muse live stuff, and they've put out a lot of live stuff. So the fact that this one's my favorite one really tells you something. This was the one that they put out right after Black Holes and Revelations, I think it was, or Butterflies and Black Holes. There's Muse Harp. One of my favorites. Let's see here. Then we have My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade is Dead. I love this show. I can't listen to just the audio because I think the audio itself is just a little bit of a mess. So I really just have to watch the concert for the whole spectacle of the whole thing. But yeah, the My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade is Dead. Great stuff. Lots of energy on that one. And then I've got the Green Day Bullet in a Bible. This was their American Idiot tour. So the first half is the first half of American Idiot, and then they kind of go into their best ofs, like Hitchin' a Ride, Brain Stew, Basket Case, King for a Day, and then Minority, which I still love, and then Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. So yeah. Let's see here. Then, of course, I mean, you guys wouldn't be surprised about this one. This is the Taylor Swift, the Speak Now world tour, because of course it is. Yeah, what else can I say? What else can I really say about that one? It might not necessarily be my favorite of hers. I really love her Reputation stage tour and the one that she was doing for like Lover, but this one's still really, really good, really fun. Then, kind of coming out of nowhere, I've got the 9 Inch Nails, and All That Could Have Been. This one's really fun. You know, I have a soft spot in my heart for 9 Inch Nails. As my dad says, it's industrialized, focused anger, and I couldn't argue with that. So yeah, so here's an All That Could Have Been from 9 Inch Nails. Actually, this one's one of my favorites of all time live performances. This is Keen Live. This is the one that they put out after the Iron Sea album. So this is just their first 2 albums, and it is essentially just the first 2 albums live, but played in kind of like a best of show. I've watched this so many times. It's almost embarrassing because I love those first 2 albums from Keen. Hopes and Fears and The Iron Sea is just brilliant. And I think this show is such a brilliant show. Pop music, but very, very good. So yeah, Keen Live. I just can't say enough about this. All right, finally, last one. Round off the whole thing. This is the Weird Al Yankovic Live. This was the one that he actually did, not the one that I saw. I saw the one after this, but it was recorded in Toronto, in one of my favorite venues of the Massey Hall, which is currently being renovated at the moment. And I guess closed down because of COVID. But yeah, Weird Al Yankovic Live has all the classics and a lot of stuff from the Alpocalypse album, which is one of my favorites. I did a whole worst to best on Weird Al. You can find it up there. So a lot of the tracks are from that album to help promote it, but you also have like the classics of Smells Like Nirvana, Canadian Idiot, Wanna Be Your Lover. There's a medley as well on here that's a lot of fun. Amish Paradise, White and Nerdy, and then it ends with obviously Fat, and then the 2 Star Wars songs of The Saga Begins and Yoda. Great stuff. I mean, if you haven't seen Weird Al live, he essentially parodies the live performances of those artists that he's parodying. So he takes it to the next level in that sense. So yeah, and then that's it. That's all of my live DVDs, and I think I don't have any Blu-rays. So yeah, just the live DVDs. I have a lot more live albums, but I wanted to keep it to just the live DVDs, as I've been watching them being craving for a live performance. So yeah, those are all my live DVDs. Which ones were your favorites? Which ones did I miss that I don't have that you think I should have? Let me know about all of that by commenting down below, as well as your own collection. Let me know of your own collection and what you personally love to watch. Yeah, let me know all about that. Anyway, that's a bit. Yeah, that is a bit. But that's about it for me on this. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.